Alrighty, ladies. Oh my god, let me fix my hat. Hold on. There we go. What is up, guys? Thank you guys for 333. Wow, that's pretty crazy. 333. Oh, wow. Okay, gotta love it. We're trying to hit 340. Let's get her done. One second, guys. Here, I gotta pull up chat for you guys. All right, there's that. All right. Where is chat? Stream. Pull it up here. Pull it up here. Go here, start a poll. Will Cooper and Allen be the best duo in the league? Yes or no? Yeah, obviously. I absolutely 110% think they definitely will. I think Cooper and Allen, they're going to be the next Diggs and Allen, but not exactly, right? Because Diggs and Allen, they always had their fair share of fights, or I don't know if you really call them fights, but you guys get what I'm saying. So, I mean, it's obviously Cooper's first year in Buffalo. Maybe it's even only year. We don't know. It depends, obviously, how this season's going to go, whether he's going to want to sign back or look to play somewhere else. But from what I've seen from Cooper and Allen, from just Cooper being what he got signed on Tuesday, the game was on Sunday. So he was in Buffalo for like 5 days, had to learn the playbook. He had a couple days of practice. He had like 3 days, 4 days of practice. I think it was like 3 days. And then he comes out, he puts up his first catch is a touchdown. He racks up 66 yards. Obviously has that one drop, but then doesn't drop another pass for the rest of the game, and makes some incredible catches that most receivers aren't gonna make. So seeing what he can do from just being here for 5 days, practicing for only 3 days, and already having chemistry with Josh Allen just kind of shows like what's gonna happen. I mean, the guy was here for 3 days. Keon Coleman had his first 100-yard game. Dalton Kincaid had a great game. He had a great game. Josh had a great game. So him being here for 3 days already changed around the way we play here in Buffalo. So it's kind of like we just know what's going to happen. They're going to be great. I mean, Josh Allen and Amari Cooper, they're going to be a team where, like, if you're facing up, you're going to want to cover him or double cover him. But then we got Keon Coleman on the other side who going to eventually fit into that number one receiver role. And we could have seen because of the way he's been playing. And Khalil Shakir, I mean, the guy is super fast. When he gets the ball in his hands, he makes a play. I mean, and it's funny because I was saying a couple weeks ago we got to get Keon Coleman in the mix-ups and mismatch him. And it's funny because that's literally what we did. Like, even when we did that screen pass to him, he broke it for like 50, 60 yards? Like, come on now. It just shows that Amari Cooper is already making something happen. He's making his presence felt in Buffalo. That's what I'm trying to look for there. Which is all I could ask for, really. I mean, the Seahawks is going to be a tough game. They got a lot to play for. We got a lot to play for. They're trying to stay at the top of the NFC. We're trying to stay at the top of the AFC. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight. And the Bills can't play how they've been playing. You know what I mean? Like, I would, like, not, they could play how they've been playing, but just, like, for the whole game, you know? Don't slack off, go down by 10, 17, 20, or whatever in the first half, and then in the second half think you can come back. Against some teams that might work like the Titans, but against the Seahawks, they're not going to be, I mean, they're a good team. They're not just going to let you come back. Right? So we got to stay, we got to play strong, physical, fast football the whole game. But, I mean, Amari Cooper is going to be the number one receiver for this Bills team 100%. He can make those catches. He's fast, but he's not, like, super, super fast. But, you know, he has speed on him. I mean, like, I say this a lot, but he's just, like, reminds me of or I would say Keon Coleman reminds me of him. Similar body type, similar speed. Just similar play type, really. So we're gonna see how that goes. I think the Bills have a lot on their plate going against the Seahawks on Sunday. But I think Amari Cooper and Josh Allen are just gonna be so good. And now they're coming off a full week of practice together. Amari Cooper already looks a lot more comfortable in Buffalo. You know, like his first couple days, obviously, after getting traded, you're going to feel like this. Even Rasul Douglas did last year. Now Rasul Douglas loves it in Buffalo, and he's looking for extension in Buffalo. We'll see what happens there, but like, Amari Cooper last week was just kind of quiet. He was just kind of going around, just practicing. This week, you know, he's smiling, laughing, talking to Josh more, talking to the coaches more, talking to the players more. So you could just tell he's starting to get more comfortable in Buffalo. Even when he scored that touchdown, you know, he didn't celebrate much, which he's a veteran, right? So, and it was a big play in the game, and he you know, he took it. He's a professional. He's been doing it, so you can't. I mean, he made a great play. I don't even, people were saying he didn't even know his route, right? And it kind of looks like that the way he was going, and then Keon Coleman just kind of points, and he knew where to go, and then he just went up and scored. So, I mean, we're gonna see what happens. I just really do think it's gonna be a really good game. I do. I think we're gonna have a very strong game. Obviously, the one thing I would be worried about is Kenneth Walker in the run game, especially with Terrell Bernard being out, Dwayne Carter being out. I know Dwayne Carter's a rookie and he doesn't play as many snaps, but When he was in for a couple run plays, he made things happen. So, I mean, he makes things happen. Dwayne Carter's definitely going to be a great player, and he's obviously on. He just was placed on injured reserve, so yeah, we are going to see. Um, I don't know how Amari Cooper is going to play in this game. I obviously think he's going to play good. I obviously think he's going to play good. Of course. Of course, I think he's going to play good. He has Josh Allen. He is coming off of a team that was looking all down, right? And now he's coming to a team that has all upside, so all upside for the Buffalo Bills. Mm. Feels like shining when you call my name. It's like a little over down on my knees. You know I'll take you there. Guys, should I start doing um college football streams? I've thought about it. It might help us grow more, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, Amari Cooper, whenever he's just done so good in the past, multi Pro Bowls. Um, he already started this season pretty good with the Browns. He had like one really strong game, but with him being here, I just think the whole team's just gonna get better. Which like when Stephon Diggs first got here, the whole team got better. You know what I mean? So yeah, Am I nervous for Sunday's game? A little bit. Or tomorrow's game, I could say. A little bit. Because it's just a good team, and obviously, there's no hiding from it. We have not been good against we have not been good against good teams this year. We've already lost to two good teams. In the Houston Texans but yeah, you just gotta think that he's gonna be the next, not the next Stephon Diggs because they're completely different play styles, completely different players, but he's gonna be that next guy who plays the Stephon Diggs role of coming in, putting up 1,000+ yards with Josh Allen and making Josh Allen just great. Obviously, Josh Allen still has what, 0 interceptions on the season, which is great. That just shows since Diggs left, he knows he has to make better decisions. I'm sorry, guys. I just got distracted really quick. I'm looking at something. but yeah, I mean, Amari Cooper is just such a good and strong player that I just think Amari Cooper is just going to be so good for this Buffalo Bills team. I really do. And I'm really glad we traded for him over a couple other receivers we were looking at. I'm honestly happy we traded for him over Devontae Adams or, I think the Christian Kirk was like not too much in there, but he was one of the guys that people were talking about. There's a couple other receivers out there that were on the trade block that Brandon Beane was probably talking to teams about, but obviously Amari Cooper was that guy that Brandon Beane even said he's wanted for a couple of years now, and then he became available after the Browns just started off the season pretty bad, to say the least. And I could do a 1 o'clock stream tomorrow, which would be really cool. Just realized that. What's up, Gator? What's up, man? Yeah, guys. I mean, I just think Josh Allen's gonna be so much better than he ever was with Stephon Diggs on the team, right? Because Amari Cooper's not that. What do they call diva or something? Which I don't even like talking about Diggs anymore. He's not on the Bills anymore. I could care less about him. It just shows. I mean, you're trying to fight the whole Packers team, really, and then you lose and have like a 20-yard reception game or 25 yards, whatever it was. I mean, that just shows the kind of player he is, right? I mean, he's a good player. He's a good receiver. He's gonna make plays, and he's shown that he made plays. He's made plays for Houston. He made plays for Buffalo. He made plays for the Vikings. But it just shows like why people don't want to be his teammate because of the way he acts, right? He acts like he's the main character on the team. Even D'Amico Ryans after the game was like, "That's not how we act. That's not how we play," right? Because they lost that game and Diggs had 20 yards. So you're gonna talk trash, fight people, and then lose the game with 20 yards. So yeah, that just shows you can't put your money where your mouth is, my friend. So I don't even really like talking about Diggs, but I'm gonna compare Amari Cooper to Stephon Diggs because Amari Cooper, veteran receiver coming in, Diggs was a veteran receiver coming in. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's too close. They're just different play styles. Amari Cooper's like super deep threat. Diggs was able to play in the slot a lot because he's smaller, faster. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Amari Cooper, what he's at 1,000 yards the last, I don't know, so many seasons. I mean, he's just been so good. He really has. He has really just been so good. And it's so crazy that Amari Cooper is just such a consistently good receiver. And it's just like awesome that the Bills were able to acquire him and get him for so cheap. I mean, he's not even making a dent in our cap. I mean, what they say he was $800,000 in cap. That's like Devontae Adams would have been millions and millions of dollars, and we get Amari Cooper for 800,000. That leaves us more room to even trade for another player before the trade deadline. So, I mean, like Brandon Beane has a lot of options now with Amari Cooper being that cheap. He might be the best, cheapest player in the league. I mean, and he shouldn't be that cheap. I'm not saying he needs to be that cheap. I'm just saying he is that cheap because he literally is. I mean, he does nothing to the cap, which is absolutely great. We obviously don't want to bring in this big receiver that's going to take up all this cap because we obviously have we're working with minimum cap space, right? So we'll see. I just really hope that Amari Cooper gets what he wants, right? And all he wants is to get his target, to get his yards, and win a Super Bowl, right? That's what any player wants, right? They could say they don't want it, but no, they want it. They could say they don't want those yards and those catches and those completions and those interceptions for all. I'm saying for all players, those interceptions or those tackles, but they want them. They're going home looking at them stats, saying we need to get them up there. Which you should. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to look at your stats. You should look at your stats. You should try to be better. I mean, that's just how the game works. You want to be good. You know what I mean? But I mean, how like I just think Amari Cooper's gonna perform better in the playoffs for us because obviously uh Diggs was just non-existent in the playoffs for us. So yeah, I mean Amari Cooper has just been like a guy who just makes everyone around who makes everyone around him better. And he has shown that. He has proved that. I mean, Joe Flacco, when he went to the Browns, they go to the playoffs. They win their first playoff game, I'm pretty sure, didn't they? Or did the Texans beat them? It might have been the Texans winning that game, actually. So, so we're gonna see, guys. We're obviously gonna have a pregame show tomorrow, and then maybe we'll do a game stream at 1 p.m. and then maybe after that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow, but we're gonna find out. We are gonna figure it out too. If you guys are watching, don't forget to like and subscribe. Trying to 500 subscribers for the new year. We're like 167 away, I think, something like that. Guys, all right, let's get back to this. Let's look at Amari Cooper stats, right? I started going towards the Diggs conversation, which I really don't like talking about Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs, he's gone. He's dust in the wind. We don't care about him anymore as Bills fans. He made his mark in Buffalo. He ruined it. He's gone. Goodbye. Right? Like, it's just crazy to me, right? Amari Cooper comes here. He practices for like 3 days, and he gets a touchdown in 66 yards. That just shows. And on that touchdown, he didn't even know his route. So that's what I'm trying to say here is that, like, if Amari Cooper can do that after coming in for 1 day, or 3 days, I mean, he got a full week of practice now. His first game in, Keon Coleman plays great. Khalil Shakir has his touches. Don Kincaid makes some great catches and just plays good. Josh Allen started playing good. James Cook, Ray Davis. The defense started to heat up later in the game. I mean, everyone just gets better when when one of these big time players come in, because we all want to win a Super Bowl. Amari Cooper knows. Obviously, he didn't choose who he got traded to, but I know he does not mind being in Buffalo. He has shown it. He looks good in the Bills uniform, and he just belongs in Buffalo. He just has that missing, piece that we've been looking for. Obviously, I think we would have still got it done without Amari Cooper, but having Amari Cooper is just gonna help out a lot. Like, a lot, a lot. Like, a bunch, guys. A bunch. Like, Amari Cooper is, like, such a good and calm player. Like, he's so calm, guys. He is so calm. And, I mean, you could just look at his, I just look at his, the way he carries himself and the way he, just walks around. I mean, he's just such a calm, cool guy. Even when, like, he scored, he was just like, all right, everyone gave him a couple helmet taps, and he was just like, I'm good. You know what I mean? He was just out. He just went back to the sideline because he knows we were down, and he knows this play is going to help us, but this play didn't win us the game. So he needs to go out there and perform and make catches, which he did, right? And with him being on the team, Keon Coleman was eating. Don Kincaid was eating. Everyone was eating on the field. James Cook, Ray Davis. I mean, Ray Davis, he's going to step into a much bigger role soon. I mean, they're going to start having, like, equal touches eventually. So, that's what I'm thinking with that, because, I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, when Ray Davis gets the ball in his hands, he's spinning off tackles, running people over. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's bonkers, guys. It's bonkers. It's flipping bonkers. And for Josh Allen, I mean, he's been through a couple number one receivers and big time players at this point. But now Josh Allen is just so good. And you just gotta think Amari Cooper is just gonna make him so much better. It's just like Brandon Bean is so smart for, bringing in Amari Cooper he's a veteran, you know what I mean? He's that vet guy that I guarantee the Bills aren't the only ones talking to the Browns about Amari Cooper. But we're gonna see, guys. We're gonna see. I'm watching one of his interviews right now, actually. We could actually watch it together. We take away the Bills background like that. bring this over here, and then I could bring this over here.
Obviously, I would have to do a little bit more, after practice, before practice, in terms of just getting the game plan down, because these guys have been, doing that since camp and everything like that. I'm only, a little more than a week in, so definitely have to spend extra time. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing for sure.
How much of a scramble it is just from a life standpoint, moving things from Cleveland? I mean, basically just living on Phil's gear. I mean, do you have like just moving your stuff and everything? Has that been a scramble or not really?
Not really. It hasn't been hard for me to be honest. I guess you could say I'm pretty nomadic. But yeah, I don't require much. I can wear the same thing every day, eat the same thing every day. I don't require much, so it hasn't been that hard for me, and it's not like I have kids or anything like that. So I think it's probably been a little easier on me than other guys who might have been in a similar position.
Is there anything specifically you're doing? You mentioned the extra time before and after practice. Like, are there any specific things you're doing to really get this playbook down, this offense down? Is it just learning?
Yeah, just hearing it more, seeing the plays more. That's pretty much it in terms of that. Obviously communicating, with Josh and, everybody else. But yeah, I would say those three things: communicating and looking at the plays more and hearing them more.
How do you feel like that communication with Josh is going?
It's going well. Every quarterback has their own nuances to the way they play the game. So, you have to kind of adapt to that, and kind of have to adapt to you, the way you run routes, your timing and everything, which is, generally created during the preseason and throughout the course of the season. So, in a way, we're kind of playing catch up. But, some natural chemistry would be nice, and I kind of do feel some natural chemistry. So, yeah.
What have you learned about Josh in just a week's time being his teammate?
He's a playful guy, funny guy. He likes to joke around with the guys. He isn't, tight, So, yeah, I think that's one of the things that I've learned about him thus far.
Excuse me.
A lot of guys, everyone has a handshake with him. I saw yours was just like a straight up handshake. Is that the one you're going with?
Nah. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to come up with something creative and something that's, ideal between you and the guy. So, gotta think about something.
Still a work in progress. Okay.
Josh and Joe have talked about this week starting faster, like in the first quarter. From your perspective, what do you guys have to do as a group to get that done?
Definitely it's executing. Just executing whatever play is called. That's the school I come from, whatever it's called, you just go out there and you beat the guy in front of you. So that's the remedy.
Alright, that's that, and that's the stream, to be honest. No, it doesn't like that well, guys. That's my take. Let me know your guys' takes in the comments below. Hope you guys did enjoy the stream, and I'll see you guys on the